when a woman's like, oh, I don't want my husband to know that I came to you and told you that we had relationship problems.
I was not supposed to be successful. Hey there, Casey Ship here, fitness model, hormone expert, and a master energy healer. I help goal-oriented women clear out the reason why nothing has worked and finally step into their purpose and get everything they've ever wanted.
So, first of all, I want to go over some things that I've been noticing. And my job is to call you out on your shit. That's my job. That is my fucking job. I'm here to trigger and inspire. And we get a lot of women that come in. And first of all, you already know how my pet peeve is when women have to get their husband's permission. Oh, I just want to let him know. Well, if you're like us, he should already know you're talking to me. So that tells me right there's a problem with communication, and there's secrets and there's shame and there's guilt. So that's a big issue for me, which I don't expect anyone to be perfect when you come in, and I get it. Everybody's got their own shit. I'm going to share also the things that I've noticed it's a problem, and it's actually wearing you out. It's why your body's not where you want it to be. It's why you have weight issues, energy issues, autoimmune issues, alcoholism. There's some stuff there. So that's one thing. Next thing is I'm tired of when people that's been married and they keep secrets. Like, oh, well, don't be sure you don't say this because my husband doesn't know that. He would never know I said that we had relationship problems. Like, he doesn't know we're even bad. And I'm like, oh my God. And so that's a huge issue as well. Now, I understand it's all part of the healing process, but this is just some things to come out so that you understand the way you are in your relationship is not normal. And everybody looks at us like they're so inspired. And they're like, y'all are just the best couple, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, we've had it out, which most good couples do. Almost, got divorced, but we've been together 16 years, married for 14 of those, 2 small kids. We didn't have kids for 10 years. In the beginning, he came in with a 3-year-old and adopted a 8-year-old when I met him. He's 10 years older than me at the time. He had a first marriage. They were together for 2 years. Horrible trauma bond there. And then really, really, anyway. So lots of stuff here. We've got ex-wife drama. We've got just pretty much 16 years together, alcoholism, codependency, toxic family enmeshment, losing parents, tons of just family trauma and drama. I mean, from dysfunctional families. He grew up with a, good childhood with mom and dad. Well, we don't have to go into that. Whereas I grew up with like the not so ideal thing, but on the outside you would think, okay, she's got a good family. So kind of different backgrounds, but we came together, and so we can go over that later. But yeah, today is all about some communication issues. And I get a lot of women too. They're in denial. They're like, oh yeah, we have a great relationship. And I know that they're only in denial because there's so much shame. Being a woman and having a ton of mother wounds, it's like you want to act like everything's perfect. You want to put the little perfect pictures up on Instagram and Facebook, and you want everybody to think that you guys are really happy. And you are happy. I should be happy. Shouldn't I be happy? I mean, I've got kids and a man. I've got a house. I should be happy. Tons of guilt. So there's just a lot of shit that I'm seeing that's a problem. And the communication part, like these women that spend money and they don't tell their husbands, what's up with that? I know what's up with that. The wife grew up being emotionally abused. She is a people pleaser. She suffers from perfectionism and not good enough. She grew up in an environment where she had to walk on eggshells. And guess what? She attracted a man that she's scared to talk about things. That right there creates drama. I was caught up in the same thing, and I would be like, so scared to ask him about something, like, because he had anger issues. Normally men do, or they either shut down because why? They're not taught to feel. They're not taught to handle emotions properly. I mean, it is what it is. They're taught to be a man. Don't cry. As boys aren't hugged as much as little girls. So they're actually mistreated. Women and children first. Fuck the men. Men are supposed to be courageous, and it's not men. It's masculine energy. Just like you healing your shit. It's going to feel scary to enroll and to take action with hot moms. Guess what? Pull on some masculine energy, be courageous, and stop being in that wounded feminine state of, I can't make decisions, paralysis of analysis, everything's perfect. What is my husband going to say? He's going to No. So we're going to share how we view things and how we talk about stuff. So let's start with when a woman's like, oh, I don't want my husband to know that I came to you and told you that we had relationship problems. What's your take on that?
I can understand that. Like, I can see why she would be in that situation. So I think, well, what I would have to do, son of a bitch, that's a bad situation to be in. That's scary. But you got to figure out a way to break it to him. You first help. You're going to have to get this out. We can't move forward at all until this is out and open because it's going to take both of you. Otherwise, you're just going to split you up.
And then why? Why? If you're not at your body goals, if you're not at your money goals, if you feel guilty about being a bad mom and guilty about being a bad wife, like you could be better, or if everything's perfect and you want to make it even better, there's some communication relationship shit that needs to be looked at.
Now, if that was done to me, and if I'm the guy, and which it may have happened, you may have used this against
in the
me,
past,
I don't know, where you very softly and subtly start breaking me into, hey, I want to get a total hysterectomy. You like worked that one. You didn't just walk in one day and go, hey, I want to do this. You kind of, hey, I'm looking into this. We researched it. I'm always involved in your research. So you get me at the interest level way before. If these people, for them to get all the way to where they're talking to you and they're not even sharing that they have an interest in even talking to you, then it's such a huge void though, and a huge gap that it's easy to close it. You can just close it the right way.
That's part of your weight loss issue.
Yeah.
That's part of your life issue, is that there's no communication here. You're scared to talk to your spouse. And every time
I'm scared to talk to you though sometimes, so I can't sit here and say, man.
People pleaser. He comes from approval and people pleasing, which is a form of low key manipulation. You are purposefully, like the other day, I had a girl in my inbox. She goes, "Hey, I want the food test. I want to share it with my people. Do you have the affiliate link? I want to be an affiliate." Or she didn't even ask that directly. I knew what she was wanting to ask, but I'm like, no, she's going to learn how to ask a direct question. She's hem-hawing around the thing. I'm going to give her what she's asking for because she's not being direct with me. Then over time, she's going to get worn down and pissed off at me. But she didn't ask the direct question. Because of her previous childhood trauma, it wasn't okay to speak up. It wasn't okay to ask for questions. Children are meant to be seen and not heard. This is all things that get to be cleared out. So if you have communication skills, it's communication issues with your partner, it's from trauma.
I don't know of any man, because I can't speak for every man, but I can speak for most manliness or masculinity. We want to help and grow with you. Listen, what we don't want is for you to grow without us. That's scary. That's what hurt. Like, if I ever think you're growing in a direction that I'm not following you in, I get scared. But I wouldn't, if I knew that you held that secret from me for a long, long time, and now all of a sudden you've got this belief core structure that I don't, and you just never let me know that you were interested in it, that's like a cheating factor with me.
It's like emotional cheating. Women think that cheating is fucking. No, sharing your feelings with another man or talking about
We're supposed to grow together, not grow and then judge the other one. So that's a whole
nother problem, which is insecurity.
Cool.
When men,
insecurity.
When a woman starts to get results or starts to do this program like this, he's worried she's going to get stronger and sexier and hotter and leave his ass.
Well, now that's the common thing, that she's going to get stronger and leave his ass. Mine would be more of a competitive thing. Hey, I want to start it with you. Mm-hmm. We do that to each other. Like, don't start doing it and not tell me, because then you're going to want me to be involved, but you're already going to be ahead of me, and I'm going to say, fuck it, because you already started without me. That's the same thing. That's the same thing as a spiritual growth, a self-growth, anything.
Which also I want to add, Skip, when I met him, okay, let me just take that back. So he's baseball superstar, former pro athlete and all this stuff, and he's been through a lot of sports abuse with his dad, old man. It bothered me in the beginning because we had this analogy like chairs. We had one chair that was a partnership chair. This chair was Skip's chair. This chair was my chair. What would happen was he would try to get in my chair. I would try to get in his chair, codependency, but it went deeper than that. I was like, why is this motherfucker buying the same car as me? He would. We got the BMW. He wanted a BMW. I got this. He wanted this. I got this. He wanted that. And where it came down to this, he was emotionally abused by his older sister. And we love her. She doesn't. It's not that we love her. I mean, it is what it is. Older sibling stuff.
Yeah, unintentional. We see it happening with our boys right now.
Yeah.
So
he was emotionally abused by his older sister. So that's one. And then next, he, from a very small age, never had his own ideas. It was always what he should be doing to make his mommy and daddy look really good. Does that make sense? And
they were truly proud of me and happy for me.
They were
I mean,
good
that was-
parents. They were
yeah.
doing the best they could, and
Yeah,
they're very.
I just was never allowed to explore my own interest.
And when he wanted to explore his own interests, guess what they said? No, you need to do baseball,
Yeah, it's stupid.
or it's stupid. Yeah.
Kids don't do that.
Yeah. So over time, this little boy grew into this thing where he didn't know his true self. He didn't know his inner child. He doesn't even know what he wants. So he lives for everyone else. He's codependent on everyone else. How he feels is based on how everyone else is feeling. Does that sound familiar? So that was a big problem in our relationship. It was the codependency that was causing a lot of.
And I totally didn't understand it.
and I,
Fuck.
Yeah.
I felt like she was attacking me every time. I told you one, you couldn't even say the word codependent the whole day.
oh man, he got so triggered, and I just let him be. I let him stay confused and angry for a minute. He got through it really quickly. Which in the past I would have caused how many fights? Because I was codependent. I was like, you have to see it my way.
Oh, God.
If you'll just do it this way, Skip, you'll be
Dude.
happy. Codependent. Like, y'all have no idea. If you have alcoholics in your family or your grandparents were alcoholics, and a lot of you don't even know because it's like family secret shit, you're going to struggle with codependency, and you need recovery, codependence recovery, because that's a lot of your weight issues and anxiety issues and why you live for your children and all that. But today, communication, relationships. So when was the breakthrough you feel like we came together and really started communicating, where you saw it as like when I communicated, like how I truly felt, instead of in the past, I would hold resentment and I was scared to tell you about it.
You saw me like your dad growing up, and
Mhm.
you would go be afraid I was going to put my hands on you and shit. And that was never.
No,
like, it
or
would be
you just
like,
get angry. I just
but
didn't want
you
to get
would be-
angry.
I felt like you were accusing me of your dad's like environment.
Mm-hmm.
When I wasn't the environment I grew up in. That wasn't anything I was planning on doing. So I was being like martyred for your father.
Same here. I was the poster child of all the females that wounded him.
Yeah.
I was the one. He had this thing of like,
And I thought my first wife was, but she was just a bitch.
yeah, she was.
I think bitchiness is attractive. I like it. I like I don't mean a bitch. I mean the
Certainty.
strong.
Confident.
Yes, and that slight bit of I don't want to piss you off. I like that, but I read it wrong in the first wife, and she was just damn nuts.
She was a narcissist.
But what I was saying is, you always surround yourself. This person that you're with in this partnership has some attribute, whether good or bad, or misused or mishandled, that you grew up with.
We're here to heal together. So you're either in one of two relationships with your soulmate that you come together to heal your shit, and I'll tell you how to find out, or you're with a trauma bond. You are with a person that is mirroring the damaged adults that you grew up with. And it's like a narcissistic, abusive relationship. So you have to do a lot of recovery through that. And we are soulmates because it's like, hey, I want to heal this shit together. And it wasn't that way for a long time.
Right. And you have a lot of soulmates. I mean, there's
Oh.
shit like Sarah's one,
Oh.
like all the people that's helped us on our soul journey.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't, you've never helped me much. You've just grown next to me. It's when I thought you were helping me that
Oh.
was bad.
Yeah,
That was
no.
codependent shit.
And people think their spouses are supposed to be their fucking therapists and all that. No.
Oh, no.
You need to get in Hot Moms because I teach you about something called Queen Codes and how to truly step into your feminine energy so they can be masculine. You can have the support where he's not like a third child and we're not having to feel like needed. And what it is, the need to feel needed. You know, who are we if our kids and our husbands, we don't have to do everything for everybody else? A lot of women get caught up in that and they take pride in it, but it's not doing anything for your looks, for your health, or your bank account.
Yeah, men get caught up in it too, man.
God.
I mean, I think the one of the largest neglect, and I have to say this because I'm in the group, is damn, us men pretty much kind of get the shit end of, like, we're supposed to just get with everything.
Agree.
Okay, and we're sensitive as shit, man. And when things get a little rocky in our environment, our primal mode is to keep the environment safe. And
Yep.
when that fucking environment that you're trying to keep safe is always not safe or acting not safe, it fucking freaks you out until you can learn how to control it. So a lot of men are just immature at that.
They are. And you know what it is? It's because they stopped growing from a very young age. There was a little boy because they were taught, you know, to be a man. Not
Well,
be
no,
this,
they
this,
started surviving because you stop growing when you start surviving.
Right.
You only grow in a safe place.
Men, all they want to do, masculine energy, is be the hero. Whether it's bringing you a towel, they just want to be a hero.
Or the opportunity to be one.
Right. And women don't, you know, like, especially like me, I was like, Miss Independent, can do it my fucking self. I don't need a motherfucking man. Da, 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 da. You can go watch all my videos where I just emasculated him all the time. So
I'm glad we have it documented.
we do have it
Yeah.
documented. You know, I'm a real bitch. We can see all that shit.
Mhm.
So, you know, being aware of all of that stuff, but just know that if you are afraid to talk to your husband about something, that's a problem. If you are talking to one of our strategy coaches about hot moms and he doesn't know it, that's a problem. Matter of fact, just like doing all that and the free
It's a problem, though. I want them to understand. Am I over speaking you? Because it's a problem, but we will help you make it not be a problem.
Absolutely.
Because you can't move forward if that's not going to be the case. So it's not like, oh, I can't talk to him, so I can't do it. We'll have to come back somewhere. No, well,
It's only going to get way worse.
Yeah, no, we'll help you to, hey, this is how you talk to him. It's not hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God,
Yeah.
our strategy coaches are highly
Yeah.
skilled. When
Yeah.
we sit there and go, all right, we find out what kind of personality he is. We have certain questions we ask you, and we really help you to feel safe in asking him. And I'll also say, if he responds this way, we're in a worse situation than you think that your weight is. And this is bad.
Yeah, and
Or-
if it really goes sideways bad, then
Sideways.
that's what I'm for. You know, because I'm the dude side of this whole thing.
Right. And you know what?
And I
Sometimes
feel attacked sometimes.
the men, you'll find out really quickly that you've attracted that narcissistic guy that wants you to stay unhealthy and low and depressed and pregnant, like just beat down. He doesn't want you to. He wants to be you come to me for everything.
Because there was somebody in your childhood that made that environment feel safe, so you replaced it now that you're older with the same type of person, and you hate that person as much as you hated the way the person was in your childhood. Just identify who the hell that is, and is that the true nature of this person? If it is, get rid of him. If it's not, then he's trapped too.
Most relationships that come into Hot Moms, that they're courageous enough to come in and say, hey, I need some help in all these areas, because we do provide a ton of help and support and strategy, show you what we've done. But there are some that they don't take action and they end up getting divorced. And I'm like, God, if you would have just enrolled and asked for some help 6 months ago, it's okay. You're here now, right?
This is it. I've got a free training, CaseyShip.com/register. Be sure to grab that and then join my free Facebook group and just reach out. Struggle is not required. So hit me up, CaseyShip.com/register. Talk to you soon.